President, we have a national emergency.
This is one of the things that we can shoot first and ask questions later. Normally you can't do that.
All of a sudden these trees started moving out of the way. They parted for me. And then I came out into this opening, and there where I saw Jesus Christ.
Back in 1927, an American socialist, Norman Thomas, 6 times candidate for president on the Socialist Party ticket, said the American people would never vote for socialism. But he said under the name of liberalism, the American people will adopt every fragment of the socialist program. He is more imminent.
James Madison, in 1788, speaking to the Virginia Convention, said, "Since the general civilization of mankind, I believe there are more instances of the abridgment of the freedom of the people by gradual and silent encroachment of those in power than by violent and sudden usurpations."
When men were free.
Broadcasting live from a secret location buried deep below the earth, you're about to make a connection to the signs of the times. W. Dean Shook is live on the air right now.
Welcome in to End Time News. I'm your host, W. Dean Shook. I appreciate you being here so very much. There's nothing I love better than exposing the truth that everyone else doesn't want us to know. I'm going to bring you a couple perspectives here today that not only they won't mention, the mainstream media won't mention this either. But let's start with first, Obama was told that this was going to be wildly popular. According to WND, just prior to the midterm elections, the strategists behind the marketing campaign of Obamacare advised that executive amnesty by President Obama would be wildly popular with the American electorate. Celinda Lake, lead pollster and main crafter of the marketing campaign for Obamacare, was quoted October 30th by roll call saying voters would be just fine with the president acting alone on immigration reform. Now, Lake was speaking in the run-up to the midterms, which were wildly seen as a rejection of Obama's policies, particularly Obamacare and amnesties. Lake said voters would be glad to have a president getting something done. She said last month, in a focus group, executive action was deemed wildly popular. She said the voters just want to get some problems solved. They don't care how we do it, and they believe nothing's getting done in Washington, and they're sick of it. Well, over the years, Lake's firm has conducted extensive polling of voters, and it's routinely reported findings claiming most voters want illegal aliens to go out of the shadows and become documented. It was Lake's firm that tested Americans for which messaging would work best to market and brand Obama's health care law. Her research was reportedly used in the marketing campaign that advised Obama to tell the American public, if you like your health care plan, you can keep it. Now, this claim has received the Liar of the Year award from the Pulitzer Prize-winning PolitiFact.com. Well, Lake conducted research for the Hendron Alliance, a little-known group that's been the driving force in selling Obamacare in this country. Politico in 2009 reported that Hendron is the most influential group in the healthcare arena that the public's never heard of. Now, Politico reported that year that when Obama repeatedly announced Americans could maintain their choice of doctors and insurance plan, he's using a Hendron strategy for wringing fear out of the system overhaul. You can see this full story on the website at wdeanshook.com. Now here's one I want you to pay close attention to, because this is the one that no one's going to tell you about. The president didn't say it, the Democrats are not going to say it, and the mainstream media is certainly not going to say this. This, according to the Daily Caller, that U.S. taxpayers must pay for illegals' children. Well, how can that be? Here's the deal. Illegal immigrants will receive huge payments from American taxpayers under rules now being imposed by Obama's unilateral amnesty. The illegals will get work permits, Social Security cards, and be required to pay taxes, according to Cecilia Munzo, who's the former immigration lobbyist who's now a top Obama aide. That means they're part of the tax system, she said. When she was asked if the illegals would get annual payments under the Earned Income Tax Credit Program, she carefully said, "They are subject to our tax laws." Here's the truth behind this. Most households of illegals have very low income and pay little in taxes. For example, in 2011, roughly 22% of immigrant households, both legal and illegal, were classified as living in poverty. Now, in contrast, only 13% of American households were in poverty. However, once illegal immigrants are enrolled in the tax system, they would be entitled to these earned income payments. The payments may be huge, and they'll rise each year. Now, according to the Internal Revenue Service, 2 parents with 3 or more children would receive up to $6,143 in 2014 if they earned less than $46,000 a year. $46,000. A family with 2 kids and an income of $20,000 would receive $14,590 in taxpayer funds that year alone. Parents who earn less than the threshold would get $3,305 if they have 1 child, and $5,460 if they have 2 children. The Earned Income Credit Program is already very poorly monitored and may be subject to large amounts of fraud, according to critics. Another study says that 47% of illegal and legal immigrants and their children are classified as living in poverty or near poverty, according to the Center for Immigration Issues. Now, you're going to also want to see this full story on the website at wdeanshook.com. Well, it seems there was an instant reaction to President Obama's speech on amnesty. According to WND, Americans mad at government melt phone lines on Capitol Hill. From Washington, D.C., phone lines are melting on Capitol Hill with outraged citizens calling their elected representatives to complain about the president's order effectively granting amnesty to illegal immigrants. A number of Capitol Hill offices closed today for the Thanksgiving recess, but aides reported hearing from upset voters even at the offices in the lawmakers' home states. The officers of Rand Paul, Ted Cruz, confirmed a flood of complaints, and an aide to Jeff Sessions told WND that they're getting tons of phone calls demanding that they block executive amnesty. He said, "I don't think the American people are mad at immigrants. They fully understand the immigrants would like to come to America. They're mad at their government and their politicians. That's what the anger's about, because we refuse to do the right thing." Sessions said today in remarks made on the Heritage Foundation in Washington that the situation is worse than you know, noting an Obama administration official had told him the chance for a typical illegal immigration being deported were now virtually nil. The crucial question articulated by the senator was, do we believe in open borders, or do we believe in a sovereign state that controls the entrance and exits to its own country? As for the claim the country needs skilled workers to fill high-tech jobs, Sessions argued wages in the industry haven't gone up since 2000, and Microsoft recently laid off 18,000 employees. The average working truck driver is working just as much as Facebook founder Mr. Zuckerberg, just as much as the Wall Street masters of the universe, and who's representing them? If you want to be able to lead the American people, you should serve their interests, he said. He added, "I don't think this nation faces a crisis or lack of workers. We face a crisis and lack of jobs," he said. He also pointed out the GOP has lectured it wouldn't win any more elections without immigration reform. Yet, they just had a landslide victory with a higher percentage of Hispanics voting for Republicans than ever before. Now, it seems that the Obama administration thinks that if they continuously, non-stop, say that the immigration system is broken, that it will make it true. The fact is, our immigration system is not broken. The only thing that's broken is the enforcement of the rules that have worked for over 200 years and would still work today if they would enforce the law. Our system is not broken. Doesn't matter how many times they say it, it doesn't make it true. I've got some other news to cover. I'll just take this short break first. I'll be right back.
When you download the iHeartRadio app and put the W. Dean Shook Show on your list of stations, you will prove to the world that you're a little bit smarter than everyone else. The W. Dean Shook Show, your connection to the signs of the times.
I just want to play again the president's past comments on this, because there's a stark distinction between what he said tonight and what he has said in the past. Let's just look at some of his comments from the past.
With respect to the notion that I can just suspend deportations through executive order, that's just not the case.
I can't do it by myself. We're going to have to change laws in Congress.
The notion that somehow by myself I can go and do these things, it's just not true.
What I've said is that there's a path to get this done, and that's through Congress. I'm the President of the United States. I'm not the Emperor of the United States. My job is to execute laws that are passed.
So, other than his frustration, what has changed? I mean, he's a constitutional scholar. What has changed that allows him to do this?
Well, here's what I'd say. I think if he could have those words back, especially the first clip where he specifically talked about suspending deportations, then that is literally what he's doing today. In later instances, including when I was there, he would speak very carefully about what he could not do as president. He can't change the law. He can't provide a path to citizenship. He can't do the things that only Congress can do, but he can, using his executive authority, do what he did tonight, which is order the agencies to exercise prosecutorial discretion in terms of how they deport people.
But I mean, Republicans are saying, look, goes beyond prosecutorial discretion. This is blanket, an entire class of people is, the law is no longer applying to them.
GoDaddy offers everything you need to make a name for yourself on the web, from domain names and website builders to complete e-commerce solutions. We've earned our place as the world's #1 accredited domain registrar by delivering world-class products at competitive prices and support them with industry-best services delivered 24/7, 365. We're proud to serve our customers from locations around the world. Sign up now at wdeanshook.com and get your domain name as low as $5.99 a year. Sign up now at wdeanshook.com. Go, Daddy. Go, Daddy.
We have not massively expanded the welfare state. That's just not true.
Under the Obama administration, food stamp spending has surged. Do you think he is not aware of these numbers?
We have so many people who can't see a fat man standing beside a thin one without coming to the conclusion the fat man got that way by taking advantage of the thin one.
Margaret Thatcher once said, the problem with socialism is you eventually run out of other people's money.
So they're going to solve all the problems of human misery through government and government planning.
And there is hardly anybody who will defend the public housing program as having improved the housing of the poor.
The government has now made living off welfare a lifestyle choice.
Well, now, if government planning and welfare had the answer, and they've had almost 30 years of it, shouldn't we expect government to read the score to us once in a while?
When I said change we can believe in, I didn't say change we can believe in tomorrow.
Shouldn't they be telling us about the decline each year in the number of people needing help? But the reverse is true. Each year, the need grows greater.
You pay people to be unemployed, you'll get more unemployment.
Welfare spending 10 times greater than it was in the dark depths of the Depression. What are we doing to those we seek to help? For 3 decades, we've sought to solve the problems of unemployment through government planning, and the more the plans fail, the more the planners plan. You and I have a rendezvous with destiny. We'll preserve for our children this, the last best hope of man on earth, or we'll sentence them to take the last step into 1,000 years of darkness.
And thank you for allowing me that break. And don't forget, you can get your own domain name, your own email address with any name you like from GoDaddy.com through a special offer on our webpage at wdeanshook.com. Just click on the banner, search for the name you want, and have your own domain name for as little as $4.99 a year. Please help support this